We continuing pasuk vav. No, pasuk he. Pasuk he. So just a little. We're going to go over the pasuk again since we stopped in the middle of the pasuk. It was very technical. So just to refresh our memory, or to refresh at least mine. Okay. The pasuk says like this: Tzinim pahim bederech ikesh. Right, thorns and pits on the path of the ikesh of the fool, of the dullard, shomer nafsho yachak mehem. If somebody that cares about his life, if he's ever lose his life, will get away from it. So the Gaon, yes, sent us to the Gemara, in Masechet Sota, that told us, yes, the Memra of Kiner Mitzvah v'Torah Or, that the right, that the Mitzvah is compared to the Ner, the Torah like the Or, the light, and the mashal that was given of the man that was going in the dark, in the pitch dark. He didn't have, yeah, he was going, he didn't know where he was going, and he was scared. Okay, he was scared of what? He was scared of the thorns. He was scared of the pit. He was scared of the thistles, of the chayot ra'ov, of the wild animals, of bandits. Yes, and then his dameno avuka, he found a torch, and he was not scared of the thorns and of the pits anymore. Yes, and then then the dawn came. He was no longer scared of the wild animals and of the bandits, but he was still confused, right? He didn't know where to go. Once he got to the road, he finally, Parashat Derachim, he finally found his way. And the Gaon says that this is comparable, right? Or this is referring to, yes, the different halakim that we find in a man. And okay, and there was a parallelism. It's not clean, but okay. Anyways, there is a parallelism, okay, that we find between man, between nature, and between the elements. Okay? And we have four layers that have a fifth that is related to each category, but not part of it directly. The fifth one. Okay? Okay, so like we said, we have man, we have nature, and we have the elements. Right? Correct? So, man, we have like this: guf, nefesh, ruach, neshama. And the fifth one is haya. Haya is what? The haya is the or of the neshama that gives, actually, that feeds the neshama of the or of Hashem, yes, but that never really connects to the body. The neshama can be in the brain, or can be chofefet between the brain and around the body, but the haya is above that. The haya is above that. And the haya is the bridge between the yehida being the source where the neshamot are being created, yes, and the neshama itself, which resides with the body. Okay, but the haya, we never talk about it. We don't talk about it, at least not in this context. Good. So we have, like by man, we have guf, nefesh, ruach, neshama, haya. By nature, we have also four elements that are five, which is what? Domem, right? Static nature, vegetation, someach, high, living animals, medaber, human, and we have sechel, The fifth one, that is Sechel, and the Sechel is the Sechel HaEloki, right? The Sechel HaEloki, the divine intellect, that is the Sechel HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us, yes, inside the Neshama, or this is the Keli, to be more accurate. It's the Keli that the Neshama use, the tool the Neshama use in order to express itself, yes, inside man and in nature. That's the Sechel HaEloki. Okay, that's the fifth part, the fifth level of nature. Good. Okay. And then we have the four elements that the world was created with, which is Afar, Maim, Ruach, Esh. Yes. And the fifth one is called Shamayim. Shamayim Dehainu, the waters that were separated, the Maim Elyonim, the waters that were left above the Rakia, Sham Maim, right? And these are the waters that are used to shower Beracha. Okay, these are the waters that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends to the world to shower His Beracha on earth. Yes, that's called Gishme Beracha. Gishme Beracha. Yes, the Malbim addresses it in Bereshit. So now we have those three categories that each have four elements plus a fifth one. Yes, and each one is, if you want, the fifth one on each category has a direct connection to Kudsha Berichu on a spiritual level. Haya is not connected to the body, right? It's the bridge to the source of the Neshama. So that's closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yes, the Sechel HaEloki, it's the tool that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put inside Am Yisrael for the Neshama to use in order to express itself. And then we have Shamayim, which are the waters that are kept holy, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses, okay, to shower beracha, to bring the beracha hashgahit, a beracha that is targeted by HaKadosh Baruch Hu on the world. Say that? Now, this being said, right, now the Gaon said also that we can break into three categories those five levels of each category. Yeah? The Hainu, yes, if the Guf and the Nefesh can be one category that is called the Nefesh. The Ruach and the Neshama is one category that is called the Neshama. And then we have the Haya that's called Haya. Say that? And the reason why we break it down into three, because each ones that are part of one category are intimately connected, and they work together. The Guf and the Nefesh work together. The Ruach and the Neshama work together. And the Haya is a category of its own. So too, when it comes to nature, the Domen and Someach, the static and vegetation work together. They're very like the earth and vegetation. They work together. Earth is static and vegetation is binded to the earth, right? Then you have Chai Medaber, right? They also coexist together. Yes, animals and humans have a lot of characteristics that compares the two of them. Yes, and then you have the Sechel HaEloki that is a standalone. So too in the elements, the Afar and the Maim work together. Yes, because you need, that's how you bring out things out of the ground. You need Afar and you need Maim. The Ruach and the Esh also work together. The Avir and the Esh, if there's no Avir, if there's no air, you choke the fire. Fire cannot exist, right? A fire only exists when there's air. That's how you turn off a fire. You choke the oxygen from the air from a room, and that's how you choke a fire, right? So they work together. And then you have Shamayim, which is the waters that are above the Rakia, And these are the holy waters that HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses above the firmament. Yes? And that's the water HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses when he wants to sprout a beracha in nature. Now, all these elements, says the Gaon, now back to the mashal of the Gemara in Masechet Sotah. He says, yes, must have layers of protection. They need to be protected and reassured. And if they are not, if there's no protection, all these elements go into panic mode, kivyachol, and they start shaking, yes, and they will create an instinct or a force that pulls them towards something that will reassure, that will calm, that will equilibrate, yes, their status. And if it's not going to be through Torah, whatever the most instinct, the most accessible, yes, source of comfort is what they're going to take. This is where the instinct of the Ra happens. This is how the person is driven to do the Averot and to the Yetzer Hara. Seder? Until now, that was a summary of what we learned in last shiur. Now, back is now say he applies all this into the actual mashal. And what does he say? He says like this. He says that we're talking about a man that he went in the night and he didn't have no source of light. That means he didn't have an avuka, he didn't have the ner, he didn't have mitzvot. He didn't have, there was no daylight, he didn't have Torah, right? He didn't have all this. And he didn't know where he was, so he didn't have musar, like we said, yeah? So, so therefore he was scared of the thorns, yes, which is what? The tzomeach, right? It's vegetation. Of the pit, it's the earth, which is what? It's the domain, yes? Of the hayara'a, it's hay, the animals. Bendis medaber, right? Good?
Sorry, can you just go slower on that? So he was
Okay.
the thorns were the
Thorns. It's a vegetation, right? It's a plant. That is the tzomeach. Yes. Pit, right? It was a pit. It's a hole in the ground, right? That's domain. That's domain, right? Static. That's then he was scared also of what? Of wild animals. That's high. That's bandits is humans, medaber, right? So basically, his build up was scared. What does it mean? Was scared? Was exposed and vulnerable. Says the Gaon, when you don't have Torah and you don't have mitzvot, your essence becomes vulnerable and scared. What does it mean? Scared starts shaking. Yes, it needs reassurance. Okay? And he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us Torah, mitzvot, and midot, and musar, right? To appease, to create layers of protection on different categories. We said that we have three categories. We have the nefesh, neshama, and the haya, or the domain, the ruach and shamayim, right? Yes, those the five that are broken into three. So he says like this: Torah, mitzvot. The mitzvot are given in order to infuse life and power to the aspect that is called eretz, which is the domem and the tzomeach, the static and the vegetative aspect of the body, or the afar and the maim, afar and maim, earth and water, yes, which are elements in a person, or the guf and the nefesh, yes.
Sorry,
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
too fast. Sorry. The Eretz gives
Eretz
life and
milashon
power
eretz.
to stat.
It's no, not eretz. The mitzvot infuse life and or of Hashem, yes, in the category that is called eretz. What is the category that we call eretz? In man, it's the guf and the nefesh. In nature, is the domain and someach. And in the element, it's afar and mayim. Good? So when you do mitzvot, this is actually what you're focusing on. Yes, you're infusing Or Hashem, you're infusing the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, life, into your body and your nefesh, into the elements of Afar and Maim, or into the Domem and Tzomeach of your essence. When you learn Torah, says the Gaon, yes, the Torah is light, yes, it gives you, now again, it feeds Or of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, into what? Into what we call the neshama. What is called the neshama in the breakdown of three categories of all those elements and categories. So the neshama is the ruach and neshama in the buildup of man. It feeds the or of Hashem in the nature of man, in the chai medaber. Chai, which is the animalistic aspect of man, and the medaver and his sechel enoshi, his man intellect, which is the ability to speak, and in the elements, in the ruach and esh, in wind and fire. That's so when you learn Torah, yes, this is what you revive. You revive your ruach, which is your midot and your instinct, and you revive your neshama. You revive the chai, yes, that's in you, that the koach habehemi, and you revive the medaber, right? The intellect, the human intellect. And in the elements, the ruach and the esh, the avir and the esh. Okay, that's in the elements. Good. And when now that's Torah. Parashat Derachim is what that we're referring in the Mashal. It says the Gaon is referring to Musar, to learning Musar. When you learn Musar, believe it or not, yes, what we're learning in the Mishlei, for example, says the Gaon a tremendous hidush. The Musar gives life to the Haya in the buildup of man, to the Sechel Eloki, okay? In the nature, okay? And to Shamayim in the elements. אתה שומע? Yes.
Shouldn't be by logic
The
the
Torah,
other
the
way
other way
around.
around.
Yes, Torah,
Okay, very good.
Eloki, Musar, Nefesh, and Ruach.
כן. What?
The Torah should go to Eloki, Haya and
And
Eloki.
Midot?
And Midot should impact the emotions and the actions.
Very good.
The other way around.
נכון. Excellent question. Excellent question. Excellent question. Says the Gaon, he addresses that. He says like this. If there's Torah, belo yir'ah, if you have Torah without fear of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, yes, it's klum. Like we say, Reshit Chokhmah, Yirat Hashem. The beginning of Chokhmah is to fear HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means what? And where is the Chokhmah found? In the Neshama. Okay? And so how do you have access to the Neshama? You need Yir'ah. So the Yir'ah, how you get it? Through Musar. Right? So how does yes, ma. How do you
Musar
get Yirat
and
Hashem?
Limud Torah. Limud Torah. If you study,
The Limud Torah brings you Chokhmah. Okay? Yes, Imen Torah in Yirah, Imen Yirah in Torah.
but you don't have Musar if you don't have Chokhmah. You cannot get the Musar without Chokhmah.
Mechila. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Okay? David HaMelech, so he's saying. In Tehillim, he says, Reshit Chokhmah Yirat Hashem. The beginning of Chokhmah comes with Yirat Hashem. First you have Yirat Hashem, and then you get Chokhmah. So
Okay.
after that, you get into the circle. But that's what, so does that mean if you don't have Yirat Hashem, you will never have access to Chokhmah. So what unlocks the doors of Chokhmah that reside in the Neshama? Yirat Hashem. That means the Yirat Hashem, yes, works where? Before the Chokhmah, above the Chokhmah. So the Yirat Hashem, basically, what does it do? It takes away the pkak, it takes away the clogging, the how do you say pkak? No,
It's like the
A top,
key. It's
a
like the
top.
key that opens.
no, what you put in a bottle
The
of
top.
wine, the cork.
Yeah, the pork.
Cork.
The cork, yes. So it's like there is a cork that blocks between the Haya and the Neshama. Okay? And how do you unlock that? How do you take out that cork for the flow of the Or Hashem to go from Haya into the Neshama? You know, what does that mean? For the Neshama to receive the Chokhmah Elokit that it needs, it's Yirat Hashem. That's why the Yirat Hashem, and the Yirat Hashem, you only get it through the Avodat HaMidot. So yes, it's true that Avodat Hamidot, from a level that we've learned until now, from a perspective of men, is what is working on the nefesh, is working on the animalistic of the man, right? That's what we've learned, the midot. Comes the Gaon and says, but the midot have another, the Avodat Hamidot, Musar, has another impact that is much higher level than just the influence of your animalistic behavior. And it's called what? It's called Yirat Hashem. The Yirat Hashem, you develop it at a very high level. Meaning, what happens? When you do Musar, it's true that you work on yourself. Yes? But if Goim also do Musar, and they also work on themselves. Yes? You see him, that Chinese guy that comes on the day, yeah? He's Musar. This guy is Musar. Diligent, he's 90 years old, he does like 100 push-ups, I don't know what. Yes? This guy is Musar. He was diligent, yes, disciplined. That's what Musar is, discipline. So does the Musar stop there? Vadai shelo. But by working on yourself, you also open the gates of the Haya for it to shower in the Neshama its Or. And that Or that goes into the Neshama allows now the Neshama to understand the Chokhmat Torah the way it's supposed to. So Musar works on a frontal perspective, aspect, yes, head to head with the animalistic aspect of man. But it also triggers Bashamayim, it triggers in the higher levels of the essence of man, yes, a pe'ula, an action, which opens the gates between the Chaya and the Neshama for the Or of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to flow in it.
Because
this is the sod of Reshit Chokhmah, Yirat Hashem. The beginning of Chokhmah is Yirat Hashem.
which has logic because it cleans the keli. It makes a better keli for the Chokhmah to...
Nachon. Very well said.
Wow. So Musar, to get better midot, is the prerequisite for be able to have good limud Torah.
That's it. The Chokhmat Torah. To have access to Chokhmat Torah.
Derech Eretz
Kadma Torah. Bravo. Chazak u'baruch. But that's the pnimiut. That's the secret hidden in the Ma'amar Chazal. Derech Eretz Kadma Torah. Bravo, that's exactly it. Ashrecha.
Wow.
Therefore, in the Mashal of the Gemara, it says, yes, that once he gets to Parashat Derachim, when he gets to the road, and that's what Musar does, work on your midot. Now you have clarity on what needs to be done. He's scared of nothing. He has no more fears. He knows which path to take. And that's the Yirat Hashem. And that's the Hayat. That's the Sechel Eloki. When you have access to Sechel Eloki, to the divine intellect, you have clarity. That's that you know what to do. That's when the man is now on the path.
That's why some Gedolei Israel, they have no fear of anything. There's war, this is, and they're happy anyway.
Nachon. And you don't understand. But how can you say stay in yeshivot? How can you say that? Because they operate on another level. So yes, I understand all those people that don't understand. Because their gates, the pipe of between the Haya and the Nefshama is closed or clogged. So they don't get the proper or to understand the Amitah Shel Torah, to be able to see life in and see clarity and see the path.
Like horses that have the...
Yes, exactly. Now we understand, says the Gaon, now we understand the importance of the Torah, the mitzvah, and the musar. Because if you have it, you build layers of protection that keeps all those elements and all that the buildup of the nature of man can clear, guided with a path. Yes, but if you don't, automatically there's chaos. Tohu vavohu happen. Yes.
Yeah. When you say that keeps the physical, you mean the 60% of the person is water. You mean that water physically is more calm.
The element of water
The
and what it
element of the
represents.
water.
Yes, is calm. Yes, the element of fire is calm, and we'll see the next pasuk. Hopefully, yeah. Tell me.
And that is what brings Menuchat Nefesh, because the elements that of the physically are calm themselves. The atom
Yes.
and the molecule, that is calm.
Nachon.
Wow.
That's what Torah Magana
It's not only
Matzah.
mentally. It's not only that you are mentally calm.
Physically.
Physically.
Emotionally, mentally, spiritually. 4 elements, 4 layers: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual.
Wow. It's for a whole book.
So says Shlomo HaMelech back to the pasuk. Yeah. Tzeinim pachim b'derech hikesh. Yes, you find those thorns and those pits and those hazardous things in the path of the ikesh, in the path of the fool, of the one, because the one that is not protected, yes, automatically he's exposed. He's on the road, on the piste, like we said. So he fears, he faces dangers, right? So if he doesn't have the level of protection he needs, he's doomed. But the person that has the Torah and has the mitzvah and has the musar, if he goes on the piste, he will know how to be protected. But but if he's really chacham, like we said, that shomer nafsho, if he cares for his life, he's never going to put himself in those dangers. So he's always going to be on a paved road. Good? That's the hidush of the pasuk. And then he says like this. Says Chachamim in the Gemara, they're doresh. Tzinim pachim, Tzinim and pachim, that's the Gemara in Ktubot. Tzinim pachim, it means quoi? Tzonen, cold, pachim, hot. Boiling hot. Cold and hot. He says, this is the ikesh. The ikesh, the fool, the duller, the stubborn, yes? he's facing cold and hot. So what does it mean he's facing cold and hot? He says this is the Gehinam that the person goes into. Meaning he's exposed, his path is the path of Gehinam. Why? He says because Chachamim teach us that when a person goes to Gehinam, that's the Zohar Kadosh, yes, 6 months, he is burnt from the cold of the ice, of the sheleg, of the snow. For those who did Gilgul HaSheleg, you know that the snow can burn you. I mean, when you go to ski, the snow can burn, right? So, lo alenu, yes, the first 6 months of Geinam, it's not only fire. The first 6 months is the neshama is being cleaned and burned, meaning with the fire, by the sheleg. Veshisha chodashim be'esh, and after that, right, it's 6 months of fire. Why? Because the fire on an open wound on the flesh that is already burnt hurts even more.
But this is a physical example. What's that? The neshama is spiritual. There's no fire, no
Yes,
nothing.
correct. Yeah, but okay. When
What
we
is
talk
the
about
mashal of
the nimshal, you mean the nimshal is
nimshal?
whatever the burning of snow on a body feels. Yes, the neshama feels that. Yes, on a much higher level, in a spiritual level, yes, yeah, during 6 months. And whatever the body would feel if it was burnt by the snow for 6 months and then exposed to fire on live, on on open wound flesh, this is what the neshama spiritually feels for the second 6 months of Gehinam. Non-stop, except for Shabbat Kodesh. Okay, so he says this is Sechim Upachim that Chachamim are talking about in Masechet Ketubot. Yes, is that the Ikesh? This is what he's exposed to. Now, when you think about something, and the cold is for what? The cold is for Mitzvot Aseh that he didn't do, and the fire is for the hot is for the Lot Aseh that he did. Okay, now if you pay attention, fire and snow can only affect someone if he's not covered. But if he's protected, if he doesn't have protection, but if he has protection, yes, you see firemen, they enter with they're protected. It doesn't touch them. Doesn't matter how hot the fire is. Okay, and so too, you can go to Antarctica. If you wear the right clothing, you're warm. You're protected. Yeah. So comes Shlomo HaMelech and says, if you have 0 layer of protection, your Gehinam is the Gehinam without protection. But if you have Torah or mitzvot, whatever and Musar, whatever layers of protection you've developed in this world will be the layer of protection that will protect you in your Gehinam also. Verstehst? Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yes, so all the mitzvot that you do, the Torah that you do, the Musar that you do, are layers of protection that will benefit the neshama when the neshama has to go through purification in Gehinam, yes, during that period of time.
Two questions. The Shabbat will be protected in Geinam, who is Shomer Shabbat, or to everyone?
There's no fire, and there's no sheleg on operated on Shabbat. There's no Gehinam on Shabbat.
Okay. And that's why tzedakah can save you from death, because
Yeah, I know.
it generates the protection.
Oh, yes.
Maybe
Yes, that's the layer of protection that we've been talking about also.
that's the reason.
Nachon. And that's tzedakah tatzil mimavet. From that type of mavet. יפה מאוד. You're on fire, Andy, today.
Rosh Chodesh.
טוב, בעזרת השם. נפלא. Okay, we're going to hold here, because the next pasuk is also a fantastic pasuk that merits its own focus. ובנחת, בעזרת השם וישועתו, חנוך לנער על פי דרכו, גם כי יזקין לא יעשו ממנה, the famous pasuk of חינוך. בעזרת השם. So that gives that we complete pasuk ה'. בעזרת השם. Any questions?
Beautiful.
נפלא.
Beautiful.